Welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this afternoon. Oh, hold on. I have something else going. Hold on. Let me shut that off real fast. Sorry. I have to quickly. What do I have running on? Hold on. Excuse me 1 second, guys. All right. I think I'm good here. I think I'm good now. All right. So sorry about that. I had something else running in my computer here, so it was driving me a bit crazy. I do apologize. But now I think I'm clear. Maybe I'm not. Hold on. Hold on. I know I'm being a little bit nutty here, guys, but I want to make sure that I don't have something else running, because then you'll hear it too, and then we'll all hear it, and it'll be a tad nutty, and I don't want it to be nutty here. And it has been before. So let me make sure I got this going, and we shouldn't have any problems. Okay, that's good, and that's good. Okay. Okay, can you guys hear anything, or is it just me? Because I do hear, I hear something else. Are we good? Okay, I think we're good. All right, perfect. It's just me. Just want to make sure, because sometimes when I start going and I hear like echoes and people get upset, that's all. Okay, no worries. In any case, what I do want to bring up here is welcome to the Sharpe Show. A little bit past 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and I want to. There are many things I want to talk about today, but the one thing I wanted to bring up today, more than anything, believe it or not, is Kanye's song. Why in the world would I care about Kanye's song? For those of you who don't know, Kanye just released a song recently. He released a song called, I'll go HH, because I don't want to I'm on YouTube, so I got to be good. And HH stands for Hail the Austrian who took over Germany in the 30s, as you know, the H-Man. That's what it's called. And you might say, wait a minute, Larry, so what? Some guy, nutty guy saying some nutty stuff. Yes, true. But why is it everywhere? Is it everywhere just because, well, it's the H-Man? So that means, we have to talk about it because it's the H-Man. No. The issue is many people are actually downloading this song and singing it and enjoying it. Even though Spotify tried to stop it, right? All the places tried to stop it and say no. YouTube is going nuts trying to pull it down as fast as they can as people put it back up again and again and again. They just keep trying to take it down, but people keep grabbing it. Why? Because believe it or not, this song hits a nerve. It does. And not the nerve you might think it is. It's not it's against Jewish people or something. Clearly it is, but that's not that. Believe it or not, that's not the biggest issue. And that's why it will be more popular. That's why it'll be more important. It will be more important because people will take the wrong answer. They will take it the wrong way. They will try to fight it and they will fail and it will grow. This song is actually a song, believe it or not, even though it's literally HH, but it's actually about men in America. I'm not joking. It is actually about men in America. The same problem that I've been talking about for literally years. Since 2018, I've been bringing up these issues. For 7 years, I've been talking about these issues that people simply seem to ignore. Now Kanye comes out and starts hooping and hollering and saying what he's saying. And all of a sudden, people are like, well, let's not. It's because it's against the Jews. No, not because of that. Let me give you a little bit about his lyrics. Let me just pop. There's so many people talking about stuff here. I mean, there's a lot of it. I mean, there's so many, but okay. I don't know where to even start because I'm going to try to keep this, if at all possible. I'm going to try to keep this monetized, but I don't know how I can. I have no idea how I can. But you know what? Let me just deal with Crystal and talk about it. And Emily talk about it. And so let me just show that maybe that'll be the easiest way for us to kind of get into this if we can. I think that's probably the easiest way to get into it if we can. All right, yeah, let me do that. All right, if I show that, okay, I think you'll get it from there. How about that? Yeah, you'll get it from there. That may be a better way of doing it. Here we go.
I believe is the name of the album title. And one track in particular.
The name of the album title, by the way, is C-U-C-K. That's the name of the album.
Has garnered quite a lot of attention because it is the whole chorus of the track is basically just Heil Hitler.
It's N-word, comma, Heil Hitler.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's N-word, comma, H-H. That's what, yeah, I'm going to show you some of that. You might go, oh my God, that seems terrible. Yes.
That is the chorus of the track. Now, Spotify and Apple and a bunch of other, a bunch of other outlets have banned distribution of it. They've really tried to block it, but it hasn't mattered because it's gotten millions and millions of views on Twitter and other places where it's been allowed to go. So we have a little bit of a censored version of the video just so you can get a taste of what this is all about. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
These are all black men. And these are all black men who look African. I don't know if they are, but they look African. And that's what it is. And he literally got a bunch of them to line up and actually sing a song and say the H word. Yes. God, I'm going to get so canceled. Anyway, I just want you to see that piece if I could. Now, let me move over to the actual lyrics. If you can see them, I'll see if I can make them bigger. If you can. Hold on. Can you see them? And where can I get them? How about here? There we go. You can see the actual lyrics right there. There's the lyrics right there. All right. Now, if you see the first part of the lyrics, it literally says, man, these people took my kids from me. Then they froze my bank account. I got so much anger in me. Got no way to take it out. Now, you might go, wow. Wow. What's that about? The reason why men are watching this and listening to this is because a bunch of broken men, they get it. I'm not joking. A bunch of broken men actually get this. They're like, yeah, this happened to me. Yes, that was my point that I was bringing up. Of course, when he says these people, he's talking about Jews. Of course he is, right? Again, I'm not trying to take away that it's anti-Jewish. Clearly it is, right? I'm not taking that part away. But that's what people are going to focus on. They're going to focus on the anti-Jewish piece, and then they're going to try to attack and blah, 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 and all these things about that. But when it comes to American life, people have been anti-Semitic forever. I'm not trying to push that away. I'm just being forward. You can see it everywhere. They're doing the signs on. That's been a thing. It's not like anti-Semitism is gone. It's been a thing for a long time and still is, clearly, right? That's still there. But Kanye's broken. He's broken. And it's obvious he's broken. He's been broken for a while. But this makes it obvious. This piece of him losing his kids pushed him over the top. And a lot of men feel that. This is why I'm saying this song is more important than you might think it is. That is why this is more important than what people might think. It's more important than being anti-Jewish. It's more important than that. If you're Jewish, I don't mean to dismiss it, but if you're Jewish, you know, it's been this way. Like for a while, you're not shocked at anti-Semitism if you're Jewish, right? That is, oh my God, it's never seen it before, right? I'm not trying to dismiss it. I'm just saying this is a more important piece. He goes on and says, think I'm stuck in the matrix. Where the F is my nitrous? That's his drug he takes. So where are my drugs? Yes, I'm a cuck. I like when people F on my B. I don't want to say the words, so I'm going to get in trouble. So he's literally saying, people are taking my woman. And now I've become a cuck. That's what he's saying. I've become a cuck. With S that I'm posting on Twitter, they're telling me, yay, don't say that. How I'm going to say the word ninja, you know what I'm talking about, ninjas can see me in public. I'm driving my all chrome Maybach. And what he means by that is, now I'm invisible. Now I'm invisible. People don't get what I'm going through. And again, a lot of men see that. Now, I'm not saying you should feel sorry for him. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't take it that way. What I'm saying is a bunch of men are going to get this because they feel it. He says, with all the money and fame, I still can't get my kids back. With all the money and fame, I'm still going to see my children. Ninjas see my Twitter, but they don't see how I be feeling. So I became a Yahtzee. Yeah, B, I'm the villain. Now, what does that mean? It means now I don't care. And the chorus is Ninja HH. Why does this matter? People think that this part is the anti-Jewish part. It isn't. Let me say it again. It isn't. The Ninja HH part, which, God, I hope I don't get trashed on YouTube for saying it, actually means I give up. That's what it means. It means I give up. It means I don't care, right? When I've used that word, and I do sometimes use the N-word, and I've actually used it in front of my team sometimes, and because I get upset. And when I get upset, I go, ninja. And what I mean is, it's over. I'm stupid. Why stop? Just end it. So when he says that, what he's saying is, I don't care. I'm the baddest guy. I'm the worst guy in the world. I will burn it all to the ground. That's what this actually means. It doesn't mean I don't like Jews. He doesn't. But that's not what it means here. What it actually means is, to hell with it. I'm the worst possible. Burn it all to the ground. I don't care. I've lost it all. Burn it to the ground. That's what this actually means. That's what this actually means. And that's why you are going to see, mark my words, you are going to see Redpill / Manosphere grab this song. You'll see it. There's already been memes of young men of all different shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, and ethnic backgrounds all together singing a song. And they keep having to pull it off YouTube. YouTube people working like triple time. They're making tons of money now over time because all they can do is pull this. They're pulling the videos off. I had 3 videos I was going to show. Every one of them removed. Everyone removed. So like while I'm, okay, should I use this video? Boop, this video is no longer available. Damn, another one. As I'm looking at it, this could be a good one. This video no longer available. Damn, in the middle of me watching it, YouTube people are pulling this down as fast as they possibly can. And it still keeps coming back up. And it's on Twitter, it's on Rumble, it ain't going away. Why? Not because of Kanye, but because people do get it. What he's actually saying is, I'm done. That's what this actually is saying. He's not saying, oh, I don't like the Jews. Again, he doesn't. That's true. But that's not what makes this important. It means people are saying, I don't care. I have told you all 1,000 times. Why do I spend so much of my time relative to other stuff on trying to help men out? Why do I even talk about it? Right? I know some of you don't want to hear about it, but I talk about it. Because this. What did I say just as early as last week? I said it. I said, when men give up and surrender, they put on the armband. You guys wondered what armband? I meant the armband, the red and white armband with the funny black symbol on it. Looks kind of like a cross. That symbol. That's the armband I meant. Larry, is that true? Exhibit A. He is broken. Where does he go? That's where he goes. And remember, I also told you something else. I said there are 8 million men in this country who have checked out, who don't care. Who are like, I don't care. I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want a wife. I don't care if I have kids. I don't want a job. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I don't care. Oh, they're going to love this song. They're going to love this song. I told you, they're just waiting for somebody. They're going to love this song. And what's going to be the response to this? Shaming, attacking, trying to ban. That's going to be the attack on this. That shaming, that dismissiveness, that's what got us here. That's what got us here. Some of you are doing it. Yeah, don't matter, baby, who cares? Good. That shaming, that dismissiveness, that's what got us here. They thought that same shit in the 20s in Germany, didn't they? Stupid. These guys are dumb. Who cares? Well, all the reverse. We got to stand up and fight and call it out. Useless. And we will do it. There's no tomorrow. You're going to see so many people doing that. Useless, but they'll do it. They'll act like I got you. We got to call it out. And it's anti this, anti that. Utterly useless. Means nothing. But they will do it. They'll do it. It won't matter. Because calling it out doesn't matter. The answer is ignore this and fix things. Ignore this and go fix things so that young men don't feel lost. So that young men don't think this is great. So young men don't think this is the answer. I've said it again 1,000 times. When you have no answer and a bad answer, you take the bad answer. This is the bad answer. But when you have no answer, you will go here. People go here again and again and again. That's why this matters. That's why this matters. Well, that's okay, lad, because we'll fight the neo-Yahtzees. We'll fight them. Okay, that never works. What? Never. Let me explain again. Never. Internally. Externally it does, right? When you, like other countries. But internally, Italians lost. Spanish lost. Germans lost. Every time the neo-Yahtzees decide they want to take over a country internally, they win every time. And they don't. And sometimes they fight them, sometimes they don't. In Spain, they fought a civil war and they won. In Germany, Italy, just happened. Like literally, like they were democracies and it happened. And the Germans tried to fight them in the streets. The communists and the Yahtzees fought in the streets and they still won. They will win because they have nothing to lose. You guys get that? They have nothing to lose. That's why. Now, does Kanye? He does, of course, right? So it doesn't matter. This guy, this guy doesn't. But there are literally millions of men who think they have nothing to lose and will act accordingly. And they will act accordingly. I do want to grab a couple more of this if I could. This is almost like a joke. These are guys who are they're watching it and they're kind of laughing at it. And they're kind of laughing at it. It's like a joke. They're kind of laughing at it. See, I got that. Oh, no, hold on. I got to make sure I get audio on this one too. Sorry. I need to get both audio on this at the same time. But yeah, they're kind of laughing at it. And that's the point. They think it's funny. These guys think it's funny.
All my niggas lit.
All my niggas Nazis.
Wait.
All my niggas Nazis.
They're laughing. That's what they're just laughing. They think it's funny. Now, here's the problem. You're going to find people like the anti-Jewish, anti-defamation league, right? All those pro-Jewish groups are going to get mad at this, and they're going to start ban, attack. It's not going to work. Most people don't. Most are like these guys. They don't care. They're laughing. Whatever. Okay, good. They don't care. They laugh. They don't care. Yeah. These guys they're just laughing. Whatever. Whatever. Right? But again, they think the guys who did it were actually Africans. I'm not joking. They think the guys were actually Africans. Yes. So we'll see. All right. Let me grab this next guy who says something similar also. I will grab some comments too, guys. Let me just first show you this other piece too, if I could. Another gentleman talking.
song with an official music video titled Hail Hitler. Before we tap into this, Pete the Drill, Shop, Stevie
See,
Knight.
he's talking about buy his merch.
I don't let everybody in, man.
So he wants to buy his merch.
Go.
I'm gonna turn this down so I don't get it. I'm turning it down because I don't want to keep trying not to get demonetized. But yes, we'll see. He's listening. He's like, okay. And he's not going crazy on it. If you see the guys here, you can see them. They all look like they're African warriors is the look that they're trying to do. That's the whole look. And before this gentleman himself, he has a girlfriend who's Jewish.
Heard everything he's saying, though, bro. I said, you took my babies from me. You can't.
He's actually saying, well, I get what he's saying. Did you hear what this guy, he just said, I kind of get what he's saying. I'm going to be clear. This guy here, his girlfriend is Jewish. And he's like, I kind of get what he's saying.
So my accounts, seeing somebody on his bitch, like, bro, he's lost it. He's lost all sauce, bro. He's lost entirely in the sauce, bro.
And again, he's getting, these guys are broken. And I tell you, broken men are dangerous. This song is literally, the song is the outcome of people, of men being hammered. It's an outcome of men being hammered, right? I'll go back to the rest of the lyrics. Lyrics here. He says, they don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my ninjas, Yahtzees, ninja, hail H-man. That's what it says here. And what that means is not, I don't like the Jews or I want whatever. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is they don't get my pain. That's what he's saying. They don't get my pain. And when he says ninja, he doesn't mean black people. He means all my men. That's what he means. The word in this case, ninja, the word means men. It doesn't mean black people. It means men. He's saying all my men were becoming villains. Remember, he said, I'm the villain. Now I'm a Yahtzee. What he means is all the men now don't care. They don't get us. No one hears us. So now we're all villains. All the men are villains. Then he says, ninja, HH, which means I don't care anymore. Burn it all down. Let it all collapse. I don't care. That's what he's saying. And I'm telling you, men are going to hear this. Men are going to hear that. He goes on to talk about his woman. She won a F in Japan. I put the chrome on the Benz, meaning his former girlfriend, in this case, former wife, I should say, his former wife, flies around the world and has sex with the men while he just has to sit there. Meanwhile, he pays for it. He pays over $200,000 a month in child support. I'm not making that up. Over $200K a month in child support. And he can't see his kids. Now, you might go, maybe he shouldn't. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But again, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about other men in America who are spending thousands of dollars in child support and can't see their children. They're going to get that. Again, don't feel sorry for him. That isn't the point. People are going to hear that. He says, she reaching down my pants. She got the world in her hands, meaning she keeps taking his money and going out and doing things. And how many men who've been divorced in this country, how many men who've been through family court in this country feel exactly that? If you think this is an anti-Jewish song, you are missing the point. It's not. This is not an anti-Jewish song. This is a song about a broken man who was already crazy and is now completely nuts and is prepared to be any villain and the worst villain he can possibly find, and do it publicly and not care and burn it down and know that he could have the worst backlash in the world and not care. And other men look at this and go, you know what? I don't care either. This is the last thing this country needs. And to be forward, if you are Jewish, the last thing you do is attack this thing. Leave it alone. Walk away. You won't listen. None of the Jewish groups will listen. Walk away from this. Just walk away. If you try to stop it, it will not work. It will backfire. Just walk away. Hold on. I think I have it. Literally, I do have it.
Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.
He did say so, and Humongous was correct. Just walk away. It is the right answer. This is actually not about you. And I know you think it is, but it actually isn't. And I want to grab one if I could. This is actually Maj Toure talked about this. Let me bring in Maj's. Maj is my friend. I love Maj. He brought this up too. Again, people are talking about it because it's a thing. Now, Maj brings up some very valid points on this. It's very valid points, but I'm not sure how important they are in the large stream of things.
I just watched the video about Uncle Hotep. Y'all tap into Hotep's Been Told You.
Uncle Hotep is great.
Where
he's on with
was talking about how
with, Brian Sharpe,
Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks, and the sacrifices that his father made. And his father, he used to always ask, "Yo, like, Dad, why you so put your head down?" Because they were over in Greece, and he was an illegal immigrant into Greece. And his father would always say, "Yo, just chill out, like, you know what I mean? We good," because his father knew he was there illegally. And he made the sacrifices that was necessary for his sons. And now his boys are in the NBA, right? Getting a lot of money. And these sacrifices that were necessary.
Now, Maj's point here is some fathers, to keep their kids sacrifice. Now, Maj is saying that's what, and Uncle Hotep said the same thing. He said that's what Kanye should have done. Kanye should have just shut up, made music, and not done this. And he's right. Don't get me wrong. Maj is correct. Uncle Hotep is correct. There's no way that Kanye should have made this. He shouldn't have. But here's the thing. And again, a lot of men are going to get this. I'm going back to men again. This falls back to men. Desperate people do desperate things. It doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It doesn't make sense. But desperate people do desperate things. So sometimes men feel like there's no option. It doesn't matter. Who cares? And they do desperate, stupid things that makes everything worse. But they do anyway. They do. Peace, thank you for $2, my friend. So related to family court. Yes. Thank you. I still owe you stuff, don't I? Yes. Peace and I are going to be doing some work regarding family court coming up here. So yes, absolutely. Related to family court. This song is literally talking about they took my kids away. I can't see it. I got to pay money and I can't see. She's in Japan. I'm paying for her going to Japan to go have sex with the men. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here and I can't see my kids. That's what this is about. Yes, Peace. Exactly. This is about that. That's what the song is actually about. Yes, you are correct.
And so Kanye West's, from Hotep's position, Kanye West's lack of ability to be so-called humble or just shut the fuck up for a quick minute so you can get access to your daughters. I 100% understand and agree with that. Now,
see, he's saying you can't get access to your daughter. I get it. He's saying you should be quiet. Yes. Again, Maj is correct. What Kanye did is not the right answer. Clearly, this is not the right answer. What judge is now going to be like, oh, you want more time with your kids? Oh, you put that song out? Oh, okay. You seem completely sane like good dad. No judge. So of course he's wrecked himself. Of course he's done the wrong thing. Of course. But he did it because he was silly. Yes. So Mitsunagi, you are utterly incorrect here. Yeah, he said if you can't beat the wife from it's not about that. You're falling for it, my friend. If you think that's what this is about, you've fallen for it. It's not, of course not. Of course that's not what it's about. That's what people want you to think. That's what people want you to think. Absolutely not true. That's not what it's about at all. And of course, that's how it gets more views. That's how people watch it. That's how people now scream about it and call them this and call them that. Yes, not about that at all. You're completely wrong. But it's okay. You're not alone. You're not alone.
People might say, well, that's the struggle that men have. They want to see their children. They want to talk about their children. They want access to the children. And this song, this Heil Hitler song, is him talking about the fact that he can't see his kids.
It's true, right? See, Mitsunagi, he doesn't think it's a white supremacy thing. Neither do I. Nope, the black people don't think it's white supremacy. Did you notice that? Because we know it's not.
Children, not kids. We're not baby goats. We ain't, anyway. And I call bullshit on that. There's a way to speak about these issues making dope-ass music. The Heil Hitler song is trash.
He's correct. This is a mistake. I'm not saying it was a good idea. I'm saying what it was. I'm explaining it.
The beat is trash. The lyrics or the delivery of the lyrics sound very, very fucking infantile. He sound like he retarded. He sound like a special needs child that's in the studio on a favor for somebody else, like a Make-A-Wish kid. That's what the delivery sound like. And it's just not dope. And it's like, oh, there's black people standing there. It's a stunning masterpiece. This is how people it's not a Jackson Pollock can make billions of dollars off of so-called art by just splashing some shit on a canvas, and people like, it's deep. The people that think that song is deep is the same people that think Us from Jordan Peele was a deep-ass movie. It wasn't. It was trash. Yes. There's no deep symbolic meaning to it. It's rushed, it's hurried. Songs and movies have...
Yes. See, Grand Regent Thrag says, Kanye issues has nothing to do with black people. Don't bring black people to this. Correct. Yes, absolutely. Correct. Yes, Matt says Us was terrible. Overrated, completely true. Yeah, see, people get that.
Fucking storyline. But anyway, before I start getting on how trash the song is, there's a way to speak about you feeling like, hey, I am being attacked. Yes, I got bipolar issues. Yes, I'm a little bit outspoken, but my children...
Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. Kanye is mentally ill. I think that's absolutely true. But again, we've known this for a long time. We're not shocked by that. He obviously has problems. That's correct. Is there a better way of doing it? Of course it is. Of course it is. Yes. But he is striking out because he feels like the world's ending. Yes. MW Knox says, the Red Pill / Manosphere types are just as friendly to black nationalists and Islam as they are to Christian nationalists and Yahtzees. Most don't get why. Correct. The Red Pill Manosphere people, they lean heavily conservative. So whatever is conservative, they're good with. For those who don't know, they lean heavily conservative. There's some libertarian-ish ones. There's some that are a little bit left-leaning here or there. You find some. But the vast majority lean conservative. So yeah, anything that's conservative is what they want, right? Everything conservative is what they want. That would include Christian nationalists. It would include black nationalists. It includes people who are hardcore Muslims. Yes, hardcore Christians. Yes, they all lean. They lean that way, but they aren't all that way. But they lean that way. Yes. Grant says that's the lie. Red space is literally all right. That's not true, Grand Regent. You're incorrect. Literally, one of the Godfather is Kevin Samuels. Black man. You're incorrect. The first part you were right. This part not true. Yes. He's the Godfather of the Red Pill community. And Dr. Thunder, who's been on my show, I've been on panels with him. He's part of Manosphere. He's not alt-right at all. So no, it's not true. They absolutely lean right. That's true. They lean conservative. That's true. But not everybody is alt-right. Alt-right people go there. That's true. But no. There's actually a libertarian streak within them also, because that's how I know about them. A bunch of them. Missy members, Kevin Samuels. Absolutely. Yep. So Sarah says maybe Kanye West is a true believer in free speech. Want to test it? No. I like the joke, but no. No, he's not there. Yes. Missy says Kanye has bipolar disorder, as do I, but he's infamous for not taking his meds and getting in the weeds. Yes. He's ill. Absolutely true. He is ill. Absolutely true. Yes.
Children, I pay $200,000 a month in child support, and I'm not able to see my children. There's a way to make a beautiful song about that and get public sympathy and attorneys. Mind you, you're a billionaire, or at least you say you're a billionaire. Mm-hmm. You can hire attorneys and fight the case.
Okay, here's where he's wrong. I love Maj. He's a personal friend of mine. You know I support him. I help him on the show all the time. But he's wrong here. I don't care how much money you have. The courts will screw you over. I know guys who've spent 7 or 8 figures on the divorce and got their ass kicked. That doesn't matter. You could have $1 billion, a gazillion dollars. When you have more money, She takes more money. Maj is wrong on this. It does not matter how much money you have. If the court system is broken, it is irrelevant. If you have more money, she will take more money. You won't win more. That's not how that works. In criminal court, that's often true, right? If you go to criminal court, often having a lot of money increases the odds of you winning tremendously. I mean, the more money you have, the higher your odds are of winning in criminal court. In family court, no, that is simply not true. I've watched it 1,000 times. I love Maj. He's wrong on this one.
But every time you say that's what you're doing, you do something more retarded that gets you further and further away from the concept.
That's true. Okay, he's right on this. You say you're doing something great, and then you take your time and you do something stupid. Yes, 100% true. That's accurate. And again, it's because, again, I'm not validating what Kanye did. I'm not. I'm explaining it. He thinks it doesn't matter. He dropped how many hundreds of thousands of dollars on his divorce, and still he loses. He starts to believe incorrectly that there is no chance whatsoever. So I'm going to do something desperate, and he does desperate stuff. Plus, adding to Missy's point, he's already bipolar and broken anyway. Doesn't take his meds, and he's surrounded by people who just go, "Yes, Kanye, you're the best." Oh, it's a wonderful idea, Kanye. That's a wonderful idea. He's surrounded by sycophants. So he's surrounded by sycophants, and he feels he's not taking his meds, and he feels like, I'm desperate. That's why you get this. To be clear, Maj is correct. I'm just saying that's why he gets it. Kim, you get it. Thank you, Kim. You're right. Kim says it. In his mind, his world is ending. Yes. And if he believes the world is ending, Ninja, HH. I don't care. I will burn it all down. I don't care. I will burn it all down. It does not matter. Kim is correct. That's exactly how he was feeling.
Why would anybody leave their children around you, including your own?
Yep.
What would be the reason the person running around going Heil Hitler? And I 1,000% agree in his free speech to say it.
Of course.
But does that bode well for your position of saying
it doesn't?
Yes, I should be around my children. You getting head with your ass out on a boat with your now wife after complaining about, oh, Kim is half naked all of the time and all that. You do the exact opposite. You went from Jesus walks
True.
to Heil Hitler.
True.
And this is supposed to be some deep artistic homage to the.
It isn't any of that. He's right. It isn't any of that. It is a broken man using his skills that he has, using the biggest villain he could find, the H-Man himself, linking himself to that, using black men to say the phrase that was the worst phrase he could imagine to get attention for himself. He is screaming. He is just screaming. That's what he's doing. Now, do I care if he screams? Literally, I don't in general, right? Generally, I don't care about this kind of stuff. Generally, I don't generally care about this stuff, but it's not him. It is the other men who will jump on board with this, and you're seeing it already, who will jump on board and go, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I will get it. Yes. Sarah says, child support $600,000 per year per kid. Something like to be adopted. I think it's actually more than that. So yeah. Yep. Ganjin says, Kanye may be insane, but at least he knows better not to show up to a P3 party. True. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but look, the point I'm bringing up here is he's going to make it so that people are going to go to a concert and a bunch of people, young people specifically, but middle and older also, are going to go to a concert and they're all going to be in unison doing Ninja HH. Wow. Wow. He's going to make that the cry to say, I don't care. He's saying, I don't care. Right? That's the issue. I don't care. Joel says, who knew marrying Kardashian would go bad? Well, it's funny, but here's the funny part. He didn't think so. He thought he was special, Joel. He thought he was special. Most men do. Most men think, no, my girl's different. My time's different. My love is different. I'm different, not me. Most men think that. Then they get divorced, lose their kids, lose half their stuff. Their ex-wife goes off and does great, and they're devastated. But they all thought they were special. They all thought it was going to be okay. They all thought they got it. And now they're 50-something years old, all alone. Yeah, I thought he thought so, Joel. I thought, clearly, look, to be forward, whatever you might think about Kanye, and it's not great, I think it's obvious that he was in love. I think Kim broke him. I mean, okay, broke him worse. How about that? He was already broken. Broke him even worse. I think it's obvious. Kim broke him even worse. I think she did. I think you're right, Joel. And I think he thought when he married her, oh, no, it's going to be special and I'm different. You ain't different. But I think he thought so. Peace over on Rumble says, so Kanye is a contagion. A contagion. As many things, Kanye's a symptom. Right? Kanye is a symptom. And because he's so popular, because he can do this kind of thing, and people talking about him, and then people talking about him all over the place, right? Daily Wire's talking about him. Breaking Points is talking about him. Maj, I'm talking about him. Maj is talking about him. They're all talking about him. So it's working, right? And my worry is that people will think this is actually about hating Jews. And again, he does. That's true. And there is anti-Semitism. That's accurate. But this song isn't about that. Note, every black guy you saw, including the one you're looking at right now, said it's not about that. They get it. It's not about that. It's not about white supremacy. That's not what this is about. But if you take it as that, it will actually spread. It'll spread further because people will think it is. And they're going to call it out and stop it and try to fight it and all the things, thinking that it's X, but it's all distraction because it's actually Y. I'm telling you what this is really about. That's what it's really about. Ninja HH is actually saying, I'm out. I don't care. Let it all burn down. I don't care. F it. That's what it actually is. That's the truth. That's the issue. And when you get that, you may change how you think. So let me grab a couple of comments. Mike Glassenhouse, he goes, I don't know how this will be monetized. Yeah, I don't. Dude, I don't know. But Kanye is the poster child for people in desperate need of mental health support. True. And I'll go one step further, Mike. Look, Mike, you and I know. We know men in this spot. Maybe we've been there ourselves. Bothered, sad, in trouble, angry at the world. We know men like that, of course. But at least I know you and we've been able to pull ourselves out of it. A lot of men can't. Can't's the wrong word. A lot of men don't. How about that? A lot of men don't. And here comes Mr. Broken Guy, who's supposed to be the billionaire and goes to the Kardashians and the genius of his time, whatever he said, right? All that stuff. And he's broken too. And he got a song. Yeah. So that's the issue. But you're right. Literally, Kanye's going to become the poster child for the broken father. And that's sad because he's clearly not a good father. I mean, he probably loves his kids. I would assume that. I don't want to attack him on that. He probably does love his kids. I think he does. It seems like he loves his kids. I don't know that for sure, but it looks that way. But he's clearly not the best father. But so what? He does love his kids, right? So a lot of men love their kids, and I love mine. So yes. Michael's going to say the saddest thing is that all the people close to Kanye are just leeches using him, as is the music industry. True. They're all going, good idea, Kanye. All of them are. You're totally correct. Absolutely true. They're all talking about that. Yes. All righty. Rick got jokes tonight. The Third Reich didn't last long, but the shortest Reich is Robert Reich. Cute. He also goes on to say, who did not see this coming? Rick, you got all jokes tonight. Okay. I love that. All right. Over we go. Lunatic is in the house. So good. Joel says, are you hearing voices? No, I have the issue I had is I have 3 screens up with different stuff going on at the same time. And I don't always know what sound is coming into my ear versus what sound's going out. So I heard another sound and I thought you guys might be hearing it and you weren't. So I wasn't sure. I didn't want to, sometimes it happens. Like sometimes you guys, if I do my radio show, sometimes you'll hear like an echo. That's another part of my system coming together. So yes. And remember, I am a black man from the Bronx, so I don't understand computers, as my governor has said. And because my governor did say that, remember, if you're a black kid from the Bronx, you don't know what computers are. So I had to use someone else to figure this out. Yes. There we go. So I hope that makes sense. All righty. Rick got more jokes. I guess this isn't going right. Wow. You got lots of jokes tonight. Okay. I like it. So, let me see if I can grab some more. Matt says, Kanye needs some help. I don't know about his song. Kanye does need help. That's true. But I'm not feeling sorry for Kanye. To Maj's point, Kanye got tons of money. If he wants help, he can buy the best. He's got tons of cash. He can buy the best. He can get the best therapist in the world tomorrow. He can get the best psychotropic drugs tomorrow if he wants to, right? So I'm not worried about him. I am concerned about the literally millions of men who are waiting for this. Literally waiting for this. Yes. Joel says, I couldn't even find the lyrics. It was taken down by Reddit. Yes, they keep trying to take it down. It doesn't work. I found it already. They keep taking it down. People keep putting it back up. It stays. It just stays. Yes. It just keeps going. Doesn't stop. Yes. All righty. Kay John says, I just watched / listened to it on X. The only good thing I can say is it was mercifully short. Well, it's just one complaint. It's just one thing of complaining. So yes. Peace over on Rumble says, I think we're on Larry's left screen. True. Yes. The stuff that I'm playing for you was on my right screen. My left screen has both Instagram and Rumble on it. So yes, I have 3 screens I'm in front of, and sometimes the voices come out of all of them, and I have to know which voice is which in my head. I know it can be a pain, and to figure out which one is which. Yes. So that often happens. And when I don't have anything I'm doing, I also will sometimes have my I will often have my phone out so that people can text. So yes, also a thing I'm working on, so I can get texted too at the same time. So in any case, all righty, let me keep going here. Matt says this should have been a Rumble show only. Maybe I should do a Rumble show about this only. I might. Joel said, they said that was an auto speech clip example. There is. And the funny part is at the end, he picks literally the end of the song has a speech from 1935, I think the 30s, maybe late 30s, of the H-man himself speaking in German. It's in German. It's not even in English. And the one he picked, I don't remember, it's translated, says something like, even if you think my actions were wrong, I was doing it for my people. I hope you see that I do it for my people. And if you believe in me, then say yes. Show me that you care about me and you care what I was doing, and say yes. That's literally because he's talking about voting for his party, the neo Yahtzees, voting for them in the election. So he's saying, say yes if you believe what I've done. Say yes, even if you don't like what I've said, but I was doing it for you. Say yes. He picked that speech. So yeah, he knew what he was doing, right? That was on purpose. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mitsunagi says, nah, this is parody. It's not, brother. It's not. It's not. It's not a parody. It is not a parody. Joe likes when I say ninja. Well, what else can I say? I don't want to get canceled. Michael's going to say it's sad and problematic. It's both. To be forward, I don't feel bad for Kanye. Part of me does, because I know he's sick. So I guess there's some sympathy for Kanye. There's some. But my sympathy is far more for other men who are feeling as bad as he's feeling and don't have the resources or network that Kanye has. Kanye can get better, Mike. You know this. If he wants to, he can. He has this skill set. He has the ability. He has the cash. He has the network. He can get better. Now, Maj says he can just write a check and get his kids back. That's not true. The system's completely broken. So no matter how much money he has, he can't get his kids back. And he's not doing so many favors with this stuff to make any judge want to give him his kids back. So he's blown that. But can he get the mental health help that he needs? He can. He's not. But he absolutely can. So yeah, this is, and a lot of men out there, and Mike, you and I both know men who it's not realistic. They can't. So yes. Trey Dan says, Kanye needs keto. And Larry, true. He needs both because keto is magic and I can solve his problems. Correct. He needs both. Thank you for that, Trey Dan. Absolutely true. Yes. All righty. Let's see here if I can grab this. Matt says, so what we're really saying is Kanye wrote some deep stuff. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not saying that at all. We're not saying that. Yeah. Monkey See, Monkey Do says, Monkey See, Monkey Do says, I kind of like the song, to be honest. I can appreciate what Kanye's doing. I think it takes power away from the word and the way they try to manipulate people with it. Okay, that part's true, but I don't think that's what he's trying to do. Like if he was trying to do that, if that was his goal, because he hates those people from Germany in the 1930s so much, he wants to take away their power, and he loves the Jews so much, he's trying to help them. Maybe, but you probably don't write that song. But none of that's true. He's not doing any of that. He loves those guys and does not like Jews. So it's clearly that's not what he's doing. But I could see it if he was trying, and then, but this is not that at all. It's not that. Could that be an outcome? I don't think so. I don't think that could even be the outcome, Monkey See, Monkey Do. I don't think it can. I think the reverse is true. I think that we're making the HH become more normalized and okay to do. I use the phrase normalized. Look at that. Yeah, I think that could be part of it. More acceptable within the Manosphere. And the Manosphere and Redpill is already, it's already leans hard right already. It leans right already. Now it's going to lean further right. Right? It's going to lean super right now because of this. So I think that's a problem. And I think you're going to find the backlash. This is bad timing for the Jewish community, right? Because the Jewish community is already fighting the connection between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. They're already fighting that already. And they're two separate things, but they're mixing them on purpose to try to stop one or the other. So that's already happening. If they jump on this, and if you know anyone in like the ADL, tell them leave us alone. If they do jump on this and start saying, oh, it's more anti-Semitism, blah, blah, it will just make things worse. They should leave this alone. Just leave it alone. This is not, anti-Semitism is secondary in this one, tertiary, not even secondary. It is. So I'm looking up at Space Jason over on Rumble. He says, most of us have no power. So when I sit here and stew, watching the border crisis, our reps getting rich, foreign wars, USAID, I understand his anger. Bad taste though it may be. Thank you. Thank you. The other gentleman we saw, he said, I get it. Even Maj goes, he's right. Space Jason goes, makes sense. Like men are looking at this going, I get it though. Like it's wrong and it's bad, but I get it. And the but I get it is a problem. Because but I get it means other people are going to be like, this is right. This is my guy. That's going to happen. Yes. And that's the issue. We shouldn't be, we shouldn't, I know we are, we shouldn't be saying, I get it. We should be going, that's dumb. That's not how this works. Our system is way better. This doesn't happen to men. Men are doing just fine. That's not what we're saying, though. Right? It's not what we're saying. And that's the problem. Missy says it. Prohibition never works. It's true. It's true. Grace says, checked out Men's Lives Matter, whether left and liberal women like it or not. Yes. Thank you, Grace. I don't want more men to check out. I don't want more men to be validated by this. I don't want more men to do this. I want more men to go, you know what? Let me get myself back in action. Let me pull myself out and get myself back in action. Let me do that. That's what I want. Yes. And I want more to do that. That's the piece, right? So Miss Nagi says, lol, nah, men take this as an open opportunity to trash talk. Yay. and everyone thinks they think is like him, and everyone they think is like him. Men take this as an open opportunity to trash talk Ye, and everyone I think is like him. Maybe. I'm not sure that's true. I don't think that's true. I think people will trash talk him. Yeah, that's true. But if you notice when they trash talk him, the ones I showed you at least, they're all like, yeah, but I get it. That's not just he's a bad guy. You will see people do that. And it won't be men. The people who will just dismiss him are women. Right? But let me give you a piece. Actually, Emily didn't just dismiss him. She didn't. Of course, Crystal did. Of course she did. Because that's what she does. But Emily didn't just dismiss him. She actually showed some empathy, which I was kind of impressed by her showing some empathy. Because generally speaking, women just go, bad guy. That's it. But she actually showed some empathy. I'll show you right now.
These people took my kids from me. Then they closed my bank account. I got so much anger in me, got no way to take it out. Think I'm stuck in the matrix. Where the F's my nitrous, of referring to nitrous oxide. Yes, I am a cuck. I like when people F on my B word. The shit that I'm posting on Twitter, they're telling me, hey, don't say that. How N-words can't see me in public. I'm driving an off-road Maybach. So get some, classic wealth porn in there as well. With all the money and fame, I still can't get my kids back. With all the money and fame, I still don't get to see my children. So I became a Nazi. Yeah, bitch, I'm the villain. That is some of the sampling of the lyrics of someone who's clearly like, I mean, I don't know what to say. He's clearly in the midst of a mental break.
Yeah, but she just dismisses. But watch what Emily does.
Has been for a while. Surrounded with people who are not going to intervene. And, in a way that is incredibly destructive to himself, obviously his family, his kids, his relationships. Apparently the only people he's surrounded with are, yes men who just will hype him up and tell him everything he does is great and glorious and brilliant. And with, damaging impacts on society as well, I think you have to say.
Can you read the last lyric? By the way, those last two lines.
She wants to listen.
With all the money and fame, I still don't get to see my children. So I became a Nazi. Yeah, bitch, I'm the villain.
Yeah, this is like profoundly sad.
The
point of the song. So like, there's been this understandable reaction to the song as though it's like Kanye West embracing, which he's done in other formats, by the way, white supremacy and.
She gets it. She gets it. Has he embraced it in the past? Yes, he has. That's not what the song's about.
Like
being an overt Nazi,
and
celebrating
Nazi.
Hitler. Yes.
Right. What he's saying in this particular song is that, and this is very Kanye West and just an absolute tortured genius and extremely profoundly sad. He's saying that he's been pushed into this basically because he's so desperate. This is a cry for help, that nobody is helping him basically. And so he is now.
And this is why when Ma said, you got all the money, you could just buy lawyers. No. Family court wrecks men. Divorce wrecks men. Wrecks them. And most women don't care. And most men who aren't divorced don't care. So you wind up being alone, regardless of how much money you have, regardless of how smart you are, regardless of how talented you are. Doesn't matter. You wind up getting your ass kicked. Yes, that's true.
Turning to the most taboo subject in this country and in the broader West, just to get attention from his family and just to get help from his family. And
I'm not sure he wants help though.
One of the saddest things to witness.
I'm not sure he wants help, but yes, it's sad. I'm not sure he wants help.
And John Legend has said that he's like, this is. They used to be friends, and he's like, this is incredibly sad to watch. I think we all feel the same way. It's incredibly sad to watch. And the song is interesting to me because it's his turn into extreme right-wing, like fascist, race science, disgusting Nazi bullshit.
Is what broken men do. Every single fascist army ever is filled with broken men. Every one of them is filled with broken men. They can't take over a country unless they have an army filled with broken men. If you want to stop the fascists from taking over, there is a simple way of doing that. Don't have broken men. It's impossible. And when you have a whole bunch of broken men, at a certain point, it becomes inevitable. I'm not joking. It becomes inevitable once you have a certain percentage of broken men. So let's not have so many broken men, and this becomes a stupid song we laugh about, and who cares? And who cares? Because there's no more broken men, but there's lots of them. That is my worry. Looking over at Rumble, Joel says, family court claims they're tearing up families is in the best interest of the child, so it's all good. Yes, that's true. They say that, and it's all bad. Nothing but bad. Family court's an embarrassing joke. It is horrible. It is wrecking people. It is wrecking families. It is crushing our nation. And I've been saying it for 7 years, and people don't listen, and here comes Kanye. Yes. Cheyenne says, sometimes Kanye says some crazy-ish, but sometimes it's real-ish. True. He isn't scared to say what he wants. Yes. But Missy brings up a very valid point. He says, people with nothing to lose become dangerous. They are the most dangerous, Missy. The most dangerous. Men with nothing to lose, those are the ones who do all those horrible things we think about. That's who those people are. They always are. Grace says, checked out men help get Trump into the White House. Again, true. Absolutely true. Yes. Sarah over on Rumble says, I hope this video goes viral and the kids learn to think more deeply. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Over on Rumble, I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. It's true. It's an issue. This song does mean more than you might think, right? It does mean more than you might think. So, yes. All righty. Shannon says, comedians used to get arrested for their jokes and told them anyway to make a point. Ye went this far to shock people and get the combo going. The shock makes people talk. Well, I think that's true. We're talking about it. I think that's true. Yes. Yeah, I think that's also true. Yep, absolutely. So, Joel says, who hasn't been called a not C in the last 10 years? You're joking, but you're not. And this goes to the next piece, which is when you use the phrase so much, it has no value. And this, sadly, is the left's doing. The left has called everybody who doesn't do what they say, fascist, not see, whatever. So long for so much. People go, whatevs. You saw, I showed you several reaction videos. Black men watching this going, yeah, I get it. They weren't shocked by it. You do this 20 years ago? No way. Before the era of Trump, which when Trump came about, the Democrats went nuts and thought double, triple, quadruple, insult. I've told you all 1,000 times, the insults don't work. The dismissive doesn't work. You want to fix this, have answers for young men. Problem solved. Problem solved. But your point's a valid one, Joel. You get called it so much, no one cares. Yes. Nobody cares. It's over. Yes. Absolutely. So, any case, Rick says this segment needs to be a short. Oh, thank you. I will try my best. I will try. Yes. Grand Regent Thrag says the black community has been speaking about this since the 70s. Nobody cared about us, but now it's affecting white males. People talking about it. Accurate. This part, and this is common, right? And this is what I tell Americans, and they never get it. Every time America tries to screw over black people, it does start screwing over black people. That's true. But the problem is America can't just go, it's for black people. They always say it's for crime or it's for whatever. They make up a reason so that it seems like it's not for black people, even though it's just for black people. But they act like it isn't. Well, what happens is over time, the BS law or rules they made up now affect white people. Now it's a problem. A good example of that, war on drugs. War on drugs was supposed to keep blacks and Hispanics down. I'm not making this up. Literally, Nixon said that. It's recorded. For some reason, Nixon didn't like Puerto Ricans. I don't know why, specifically Puerto Rican, but he used to mention Puerto Ricans. I don't know why. Like, are they like especially different Hispanic people? Anyway, he didn't like Puerto Ricans. And he said that more than once. And again, that's in tapes. You can see it. It's in writing. So he didn't like black people and Puerto Ricans. Didn't like them. And also he had another word. What did he call he had a word for leftists. Was it hippies? Liberal, whatever he called them. He had a bad word for lefties too. He didn't like lefties. I forgot the word he used. Puerto Ricans and black people. And he said, this is what the war on drugs is about. He said it. Well, but you can't do that openly, right, Grant? You gotta be kind of on a quiet tip. You gotta be like that, right? So all of a sudden, it's affecting white people. War on drugs. War on drugs was ripping the black community apart in the 70s and 80s. But then 90s and 2000s, I was ripping white people up. Oh, okay, now it's a problem. Same with the black community and family court. Same thing. War on poverty. Same thing. War on poverty was destroying the black community in the 70s and the 80s. Well, now it's ripping up the white community. Now it's a problem. True. Gun control. Gun control was made to keep guns out of the hands of former slaves. That's all it was meant for. Now it affects white people. True. I have an idea, America. Stop trying to control people, period. And you won't affect white people because if you start with black people, it'll come to white people eventually. It just takes a couple decades. You're correct. That's how it works every single time. That's exactly how it works every single time. Yes. So, all righty. You're not wrong, Brad. That's all I'm saying. Yes. All right. Nixon did call Latin America. Yeah, I do remember that. He did. He did not. Yeah. Did he call them yuppies? He didn't call them yuppies. Did he call them that? No, he didn't. It's not yuppies. He called them something else. I forgot what it was. But yeah, he didn't like Hispanics, but specifically he didn't like Puerto Ricans for some reason. I don't know why, but he for some reason did not like Puerto Ricans. So yeah, that's he had an issue. Whatever. He had many issues. Anyway, let me finish a little bit of this if I can.
I think I have no idea what he believes. I don't think he has any idea what he believes because he's in the throes of like this horrible mental illness. It's crazy that it also sounds like subconsciously, at the very least, he's starting to grapple with the fact that this is a cry for help. And that is just is incredibly sad.
The song concludes with a sample from a 1936 Adolf Hitler speech.
Okay, there we go.
If you consider the work I'm doing to be right, if you think I have been diligent, that I have worked, that I've advocated for you this year, that I've spent my time honestly in the service of my people, then cast your vote. If so, then stand up for me like I have stood up for you. So including.
This is what the H-man said at the time, right? That's what the H-man said at the time. And so he took that one as what he thought was the right thing to say because he wants people to do that. So yes, there we go. Ganjan says Puerto Rican girls rejected him the same way Latina rejected Stephen Miller. All right, let me bring this piece up. The idea of fascism in general and this kind of reboot of the Third Reich is a serious problem. You might think it isn't. It doesn't matter. It does. Let me give you a couple things. You think, or people think, I shouldn't say you, I meant you generically. People think that fascism or Nazism is only for white people. It's not. It is actually a cultural thing. We want to make it like it's only for white people. It is a cultural thing. Stephen Miller is Jewish. And that guy is as fast as can be. He literally feeds fascist talking points, the H-man's words, to Trump to speak. Trump doesn't know any better, and he speaks them. Yes. Adolf Hitler said, if I remember right, he said, if I can get it right, Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer, which means one people, one empire, one leader. Miller fed that to Trump, and Trump said, we are one people, one nation with one leader. He literally fed him that. And Trump said it, not knowing. Oh, that sounds good. He said it. He didn't know. Trump didn't know that was Hitler stuff. He didn't know. He had no idea. But he didn't care. He just said it. Yes. Blood and soil. Yes. Calling foreigners vermin. This is Stephen Miller telling Trump this stuff. And Trump doesn't know. He just uses it. So yeah, that sounds good. I'll use that. Yeah, all the time. This is the thing that he does. You can be whatever. And think the guys with the cool armbands are the right answer. Yeah, a lot of people think that. They just want their people to be on top. And that's what nationalism, socialism is about. Your people, whoever you deem to be your people, on top. And boy, it's strong, it looks good, and it has purpose. And what do young men want more than anything? To be strong, to look good, and have purpose. And they will rush to this shit like there's no tomorrow. And there's 8 million just waiting. And it's everywhere. So look, you might say, does it matter when it comes to someone like Kanye West? Who cares? Tom Brady got cucked. Tom Brady, arguably one of the best athletes, surely in the NFL, maybe of all time. Who knows? Whatever, but top 10 for sure, whatever you might think of him. Wealthy, good-looking, successful, and his wife left for her jiu-jitsu guy and took the kids. And Brady's by himself. She cheated on him while they were married, is now knocked up by her instructor, and the judge gave her everything that she wanted. Everything that she wanted. That's the norm. So Maj can tell me, well, you got the money. It doesn't matter. Tom Brady couldn't keep a woman. I mean, Kanye's crazy. So I get why he couldn't keep a woman. But is Tom Brady crazy? Is he making H-Man songs? He's not. He's doing, like, I don't know, football stuff, whatever he does. Yeah, he couldn't keep a woman. He got hammered. We see it everywhere. Why do you think young men don't want to be married anymore? Why do you think young men don't want to be married? And why is the next thing that's happening? Some of you may notice this. If you go on YouTube, you can find almost all of the H-Man speeches now using AI in English. Yes. And people listening to them going, this guy sounds regular. This guy sounds okay. This guy makes sense. Why? Because this guy is giving me purpose and I have none. I've said it 1,000 times. I will keep saying it. No answer, bad answer. They take the bad answer. Every friggin' time. Every time. Yes. All right, I yapped away, but I just want to make sure that was out there. Guys, I do want to, I know you're bringing this up, so I want to grab some more of your comments. Before I do that, make sure I haven't asked you yet. Please click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. I've been on for over an hour and haven't asked you yet. Silly me. I'm sorry. Click that button. How can this go viral? How can more people see this? How can more people talk about this? Only if you click that button. You must do so. The button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Click that thing. It's free. Just do it. It helps tremendously. If you can repost this someplace, share this someplace else, please do so. Share it into something else. Post it someplace else. Please follow me if you would on Facebook, X, and Rumble, all three of them if you don't mind. If you are on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, and click all notifications. But Larry, I already subscribed. Hey, YouTube just decides you're a bot randomly. I'm not joking. It just does that and then unsubscribes you. So prove to YouTube you're not a bot and go ahead and click that all notifications. If you want to super chat me, I love them. Please go right to the front. You can also rant me on Rumble if you want to. If you want to watch me on Rumble, please follow me on Rumble. I'm trying to get to 500 on Rumble. I'm about at 430 something, I think, right now. So if I get 70 more, I'll pop that up to 500. It'd be awesome. If you want to become a member, please do so. I try to grab members first whenever I can. Members, $4.99. Click that join button. $5. Larry, that's what it costs to have an expensive coffee at Starbucks. Yes, but I give you more than that. We talk about Kanye on the show. Come on now. And I take your stuff live. So do that. Or on Rumble, you can become a member there if you want to. Click subscribe, $29 per month. The more we do this, the less I have to work, the more I can spend time doing this. I can do like 2 shows a day. I'd love to do 2 shows a day. Oh my God, I'd love to. But I just can't because I got to work. Rhetoric, thank you for the $5, my friend. Thank you for super chat. Kanye is helping to normalize dummies like, yes, Shiloh Hendrix, yes. Hatred is being rewarded, seen as brave. SJWs are partially to blame. Collectivism sucks. Yes, the SJWs are partially to blame. You're right. Then you might go, but Larry, they're just, racist or whatever. Let's be clear. Of course it's racism. Of course there is. Of course there's anti-Semitism. Of course there is. Far less than people think. But it is growing. Why? Because people use it as an FU. Many times people are angry or jerks. and they want to use the phrase or word that they think will hurt the most. And if it happens to be racist or misogynistic, they use it. Not because they're racist or misogynistic, because it will hurt the most. People go, oh, you're racist. No, I'm just a jerk, and I want to hurt you. And I know that phrase or word will hurt you, so I use it. Even though I don't actually feel it, I just want to hurt you. Now, that's still shitty, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't mean I'm the thing. The SAWs turn everything into race and gender, whether it is or not. And sometimes it is, but it doesn't matter, because so many times it's not. So now that person feels vindicated when someone now gets called it. So yeah, now you become a hero. Kanye's song, to your point, Rhetoric, was gonna happen. Whether it was him or somebody else, it was gonna happen. It had to. It's the pendulum swing again. So yes, you're totally correct. So in any case, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, all righty. Sarah says, black coffee at Starbucks is almost $5 now. See that? Look at that. All right, let me grab a little bit more of her, if you don't mind.
You know, little sampling from Hitler himself into the song. I mean, I don't know. I struggle to have as much empathy as you do at this point, Emily.
But you always do. So the problem is Emily gets what this is about. You just want to dismiss, because you always just dismiss. And so does your oldest son, Kyle. He just dismisses it. Oh, this is insult, insult, insult. And people watch. You guys see it when I go on some of these shows. It's just a series of insults. You saw it when Dan was talking to Mike on this show. Series of insults. It's just insult, insult, insult. That doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Because it's not like there haven't been people who have tried to get him to, he obviously needs medication.
Yeah.
Like he needs to be probably instituted.
Yes, but that's not the point. The point is what he's saying. I showed you like 3 or 4 people who watched this. They all went, yeah, he's got a point. They shouldn't be able to say that, right? The name of the song is HH. He's using the N-word, NH in it as the chorus, and we aren't going, oh my God, get rid of it. We're going, yeah, he's got a point. That's the problem, right? That's the problem, is that we're going, he's got a point. We shouldn't, clearly we are. We shouldn't be saying that.
And not nitrous. You probably doesn't need the nitrous. Yeah.
And, you know, it's a very difficult situation. But even in the throes of mental illness, there is still some level of agency. I mean, if you're able to pen a song that people would, you know, parse as some sort of cry for help, then there's obviously some level of agency there. So
yes, but he's desperate. I'm not excusing it. I'm explaining it. Yes. Joel says, can Crystal say anything and not sound like she's talking down to us? Annoying vocal fry. No, because she is talking down to us. Crystal is better than us, Joel. She is. Have you seen Kyle talk? Kyle just insults people. That's all she does. She just insults people. That's all he does. If you ever watch, and I've watched Kyle's show, it's just insults. That's his entire show. It's just, that's it. Rick says, sanctimonious crystal ball. Yes. Ball, B-A-L, B-A-L. I like that. Yes, absolutely. Ganjan says, that mentality of dismissing people is why Trump won, unfortunately. True. I told you guys this. Back in November, I said this election was about the I'm tired of being scolded. That's what this election was actually about. I'm tired of being scolded. Correct. Yes. Mr. Naga says, I stopped watching Breaking Points. I watch here or there. I just zip through some of it. It becomes unwatchable sometimes. Sagar's not there. Sagar is having a baby. So it's becoming the Trump bad network like CNN was. It's becoming CNN, right? CNN just became the Trump bad network. That was the network, right? Trump bad. This is becoming the Trump bad network. Even Emily's like Trump bad. They're all just becoming Trump bad. And that does change it. I agree. Yes, absolutely. Tommy says, you just described a cover-up of racist. True. And now defending black men singing songs about respecting Hitler. This cat is Snoop Dogg working. Snoop himself refers to this propaganda as Uncle Tommy. Okay, yes, it is a cover up, but I don't think it's done on purpose. I don't think that Kanye's doing it. It's being spread like that on purpose. That's true. Kanye wasn't going, I want to cover up races. He wasn't saying that. Kanye wants to tell the world, I'm done. I don't care. I'm the villain. He said it. I'll be your bad guy. I'll be the worst guy ever. I don't care anymore. That's what Kanye was saying, but you're correct. Others will use it as that. And the reason is SJWs has called everybody a Nazi that they don't like. Everybody for the past 7 years. So the word is losing its power, and that's also what hides. That's what covers up, right? The actual racists get covered up. And now it's not even a big deal anymore. Again, I'm explaining how Stephen Miller literally gives Trump Hitler talking points. Literally. Just translates them. What's that? Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer used to go around, he might still do it, telling people, hail victory, hail victory, hail victory. What's hail victory in German? Sieg Heil. That's what he was doing. And that was okay. So, yes, absolutely true. Yes. Anyway, let me. So I don't think he actually is Uncle Tommy. I'm sorry. He is not on purpose. How about that? The outcome is that, Tommy. His intent is not that. That's what I'm saying. His intent is just screaming and yelling, pissed off. That's his intent. But the outcome is correct. Your outcome is correct. His intent, I don't think, is that at all. I don't think his purpose is going, I like white people. He's not doing that. That's not what he's doing. He's desperately trying to get attention. They're trying to do these things. Yes, absolutely. Mike says, at Joel, Krista is getting worse as time goes by. By 2028, she'll be screeching TDS nonstop. She's like almost there. Before that, Mike, 2027, she's almost there. She's on her way there. Yeah, she's on her way there. Yes. Robert says, but if the first thing you do in order to hurt someone is resort to an ism, you just might be an ist. Instead of calling out the bad behavior, you insist on resorting to the lowest hanging fruit. Well, two things. One, it may not be the first thing. There may be other back and forths, and then you got hurt, right? So maybe you and I are arguing, and I say something other than an ist or a phobe or an ism thing, right? And then you hit me hard with something. And worse, maybe it's true, Robert. Maybe you hit me deep with some true stuff that I didn't want to hear. So now I'm really pissed off. Boom, I hit you with an ism. So if it's the first thing, I agree with you. But very often it isn't the first thing. We're back and forth. And then you hit me with something that stung, that was maybe true. Well, I don't want to hear that. So now I'm mad. So now I hit you with that. So it depends on when it comes out. I agree with you, right? It depends on when it comes out. So that's my only issue. When you're right. If it's the first thing, I think you're correct. You probably are. But it isn't always. And that's the issue. It isn't always. And I think we should look at that as to when it actually happened. I think that does matter, is what I'm saying. I think the timing of it does matter. Your point is a valid one. All righty. I do appreciate you watching it, Robert. I know you pop on here a bunch. So, all right. Let me keep going with her if I can.
So, get yourself on a trajectory where people who actually care about you, where you listen to them, where you stop damaging them. And that's where, I saw, I think it was Ken Klippenstein who said something too, that is another really difficult aspect of this story, which is there are for very good reasons, a lot of guardrails in place against people being institutionalized against their will.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get that. Right. And we understand where that comes from and we really respect it. But also,
it's not the problem. They're missing the point completely. He isn't the problem. The problem is what we just talked about. People are going, he has a point. They shouldn't be saying he has a point. The system is broken. This goes back to, and I'll go to other people that get mad at. This goes back to the Andrew Tates of the world. Andrew Tate shouldn't have a massive place to be in American life, right? People shouldn't be like getting behind him and following him. He shouldn't have a massive following, but he does. Why? Because our system is broken, because fathers aren't around. If you have a bunch of fathers around, Tate has no space. He'll have a couple of people here or there. He makes a couple of bucks here or there, sells some books and some stuff, and that's it. And hardly anyone hears about him. That's what should happen. but he's a phenomenon. Why? Because he's an evil, bad guy. That's not the reason. I mean, he may be that, but that's not the reason why he's a phenomenon. He's a phenomenon because it's a space, because young men want to follow him because they don't have enough positive male role models in their life because their fathers aren't around. Or their fathers are cucked, as Kanye says. Or their fathers can't see them. Or their mothers are alienated kids, which happens all the time in this country. All the time. That's the problem. Tate is a symptom. So is Kanye. And this is my entire point. It's my entire point. Robert also says, not only stop trying to control people, but fix the communities that you broke. True. I'm not fighting you on this, Robert. You're correct. Stop the harm is just the first part of the repair, but the second part is actually giving back what's lost. You're not wrong. One step at a time, brother. One step at a time. Stop the harm first, then talk about the rest. I'm with you. Yes, 100%. Patty says, the Jets and the Sharks, West Side Story, was when my uncle didn't like Puerto Ricans, like Ricky Ricardo. Oh, but he was Cuban. Well, I guess if you don't like Hispanics, you can't tell the difference, I guess. So yeah, that actually makes sense, right? I guess so. If you don't like Hispanics, you probably can't tell the difference. That actually tracks. I get it. So yeah, I guess it does make sense. So let me get rid of this one if I can. All right, I want to put one more up if I can. If you don't mind, I put that one up and that one. I finished him off. All righty. All right. I just want to watch these guys laughing, if you don't mind, because even they are like, I get it. I'm okay with it. They're not like angry. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because they say, I don't know. All right. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. They're just laughing. It's just laughing.
But you see the type of niggas he got to be in this video.
These is niggas.
These is niggas from Africa.
Yeah, these are niggas.
So they all think the people are all from Africa. I don't know if they are from Africa or not, but they have trouble understanding that. They're laughing. They're not talking about the other issues. They're laughing about this. That's the piece I want you all to see. It's, yes. Shannon says, men got to pick a good woman. It's not easy, but the most important decision a man can make. True. It's important. Women too, obviously, right? But yeah, pair bonding is a big deal. That is for sure. It is a big deal. Absolutely. So guys, I want to ask you one more time, if you could, click the button known as like. I do appreciate the time you guys give me, very much so. But please click that like button. Also share it, repost it now if you can. Follow me as I always ask you. Please do so. Every little bit that I ask you is so this will grow. I want this to grow. I really do want this to grow. That's what matters. Robert says, my issue with Kanye is, what is your goal? It's for years ago, he was opening a church and having Sunday services and complaining about how sexy Kim dressed. Here's what I think has happened to many men, Robert. Kanye is just the most, currently the most popular one of that. Is many men believe there's a saying, and I think it's true, which is successful men can't have bad women with them. Women can break a man. If a man's going to be successful, he's got to have a good woman with him who is behind him and supporting him. Otherwise, he's in trouble. Kim was not that woman. And so he began to fail. Now, whether you like Kanye or think he's crazy or not, he is talented and has lots of money. That's true. So he can find a way to whatever, sell sneakers or sell t-shirts or make music or whatever. He can do that. He's got the right connections and the right everything, right? So he can do that if he wants to. I really think, again, you may not feel sorry for him. I'm not saying you should. I'm explaining, not necessarily validating. I'm just explaining. His divorce with his kids clearly broke him. Clearly broke him. It's obvious that it broke him. And that's what happened, right? He didn't want Kim dressing sexy. He wanted Kim to be his woman. He wanted all those. That's what he wanted. Clearly, he couldn't get that. I mean, that's not who she is anyway. He married the wrong woman in that regard, right? So, of course, his next wife, He does exactly the opposite. I'll teach you. I'm going to show the world. And now I've got the woman who basically is naked all day and has sex with me out in public, right? He went exactly the opposite. Robert, he's broken. I'm just being forward. He's broken, right? That's the reality. He's just broken. And so he does broken stuff, and he's desperate. So he does desperate things. Again, not validating, not say it's right. I'm just explaining it. And Mike says it, yeah. He says, mentally ill people often do not have consistent goals, and or they're not realistic. That's Kanye. Yes, totally accurate. So look, he's clearly talented in what he does. But if you're broken, you're broken, right? It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you're broken, you're broken. And the worst part is people like him, I'm sure. This goes back to the earlier point that I was talking about. People like him often think, well, I'm rich. I'm Kanye, so I'm popular. I have status, right? So I can't be hammered in court. I can't be hammered by the system. I can't be hammered by these things. That's what they think. And then the system goes, oh, no, I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how popular you are. I'm going to hammer you. That's how that works. And the guy like Kanye goes, no, my world is shattered. And again, he was already, to Mike's point, mentally ill. He was already in trouble. And then this happens, devastated. Devastated. Already in trouble, and this happens. He lost his kids, he lost his wife. And look, again, I think he actually loved Kim. Clearly she didn't love him. But I think he loved her. I think he was actually in love. I think he was. And her leaving broke him. And when you're Kanye, this is what you get, right? This is what you get. And I think that's what happened. That's my best guess on what happened. That's how I think, that's what I think is what actually happened here. I think that's where we actually are. But let me grab a couple things if I could. The biggest issue I have here is my worry is this song will become a Redpill / Manosphere anthem that millions of young men in America will want to copy this, will want to jump on board, will want to use this as a rallying cry, and will make being, to Rhetoric's earlier point, being a fascist not a big deal. Like, it's just okay. It's fine. And remember something, for those who don't know, in the 30s, being a fascist was not like a verboten thing. It wasn't. There was a British Fascist Party. That was the name of the party. Like, that's what it was. It was called is it UK? English? It was the British. It was like the British Fascist Party. That was the party. After the war, the first election after the war in Germany, the first election, the Nazis were still a party. They fielded candidates. Yes. 47, 48, whenever that was. Whenever the first elections were, they fielded candidates. Yes. So that was the thing, right? There was an American Fascist Party in America in the 30s and 40s. And the group that had it was called the Bund. And it was, yes, they wore the armbands and all. So my worry is this might begin to make this like that, like almost normal. That's my problem. That's my concern. And it'll be young men who won't care, right? What Ninja HH in that song actually meant was, dude, I don't care anymore. Burn it all down. It doesn't matter. I have nothing to lose. That's what it actually means. And a lot of men are going to think that. A lot of men are going to think that. I don't want them to. That's number one. Number two, I don't want those 8 million men who've checked out to decide, oh, maybe now I should step up. Because Kanye isn't the leader. He's not. He's not. Trump isn't the leader. People, the left thinks Trump's the leader. He's not the leader. He's not either. But there is one out there. There's one waiting. It's not Richard Spencer. He thought he was. Richard Spencer thought he was that guy. He's not, but he thought he was. Trump isn't, never thought he was. Kanye doesn't think he is and isn't. But there is a guy out there somewhere who thinks, now's the time. Now's the time. And all of a sudden he's going to pop up and start saying, hey, guys, doesn't matter. Join me. Put the armband on. That's my worry. That is my concern. And it won't be, and people are going to think, and this distraction is my second piece. The first piece is it's anti-Semitic, distraction. It's white supremacy, distraction. Distraction. This isn't about race. It isn't. This is a conservative men trying to hold on to something to gain purpose and retain power and purpose, which they've lost both, versus other people who aren't those conservative men trying to make sure they never come back. And that isn't the answer. It is not the answer. Kim says, do you think Alex Jones can be that guy? I think he thought he was too. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. The person who will be someone who is an amazing speaker. It'll be someone who's an amazing speaker and who is ruthless. That person will be ruthless. It'll be those two. Someone who's like that. That is the issue. That's the problem. Shan says, it's not that they step up, it's how they step up. It also depends on who the leader is and what they teach. True. Yes. Sarah says, I think it needs to be someone Jewish. That would be the home run of home runs for them, not for us, for them. You're right. You're right. Cheyenne says, if the right person steps up, it could be a good thing. All right. This is my bigger point, Cheyenne. What we should be taking from this, and sadly we aren't, what we should be taking from this is now is the time to fix things. That's the issue. Now is the time to fix things. Take these 8 million men and don't go HH and don't go hurt the people and don't go women are trash and blah, blah. Don't do that, right? Instead say, now let's fix society to where you also have a place in society. The problem is it feels like that it's a swap, that the young men are being replaced, which is why they had the whole replacement theory concept, because that's how it feels. So let's not make it feel that way. Let's not do that. And let's let everybody have a shot at purpose and value versus just one group or another. Otherwise, it feels like it's replacement theory, in which case HH makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? I don't want to set it up to where it makes any sense. There we go. Rhetoric says, a Jewish black trans guy is going to come out and unite the right. We calling it. Well, if it were, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yes. Rhetoric goes on to say, liars predicting the Antichrist. Kinda. But yeah, my point being, this is the time. Charisma is the time. So fix things. I've been trying to fix things for 7 years, guys. So let's fix them now. Let's take this as a time to fix it. Because here is the biggest piece. To Missy's point, there is nothing more dangerous than a man who has nothing to lose, except for a bunch of men who have nothing to lose. Yes, a bunch of men. Yes. Ganjin says, I guess I should plan on leaving the U.S. in the future. There are a lot of people who are thinking that. You're not alone. A lot of people are thinking that. A lot of people have secondary passports, secondary this, secondary that. A lot of people are thinking that. You guys seen it. There's a guy on YouTube called the Nomad Capitalist. He gets tons of views. His entire job is figuring out how to get people to leave the country and have multiple passports so they can leave when everything collapses. Literally, that's the thing. People are thinking it. I'm not the only guy talking about this. Lots are. You're not wrong. Yes, 100%. So, Grace says, hold on. Shannon says, how can we fix it? As I've been telling you, policies that provide hope. These 8 million young men have no hope. They have no hope. And with those 8 million who have no hope who've checked out, there's at least another 4 million who are right on the border. Right on the border. You might say to yourself, well, Larry, do I really care about those 4 million on the border? Yes. because those 4 million men, at least 4 million, if not more, they're 6 months from being, why bother? They're a bad economy away from why bother. They're another 2008 or another lockdowns, 2020 away from why bother? Now I got 12 million, 14 million. Yeah. I'll go back to what I said earlier. Why do you think we let all those migrants in? You think that was a mistake? You think that was luck? You think Biden just was lucky or made a mistake or was that incompetent? No, not at all. That was on purpose. They saw what was happening with the American workforce. And the big business said, we need workers who will come work for us. These men aren't. Women don't want these jobs, and men don't want any jobs. The jobs that we have, women don't want, and men won't do any job. So we need workers. So bring these men in. And then was like, they're bringing in all these military-aged men. That's propaganda. These are working-age men. That's what they wanted. There's not an army coming in here. That's propaganda, they tell you. That's not true. This was done for business to get workers. These are working-age men who also happen to be military-age men, but there's no army in here. That's not a thing. This is to take those jobs. That's what it was for. They don't mind shutting it down now. They already got that 20 million. They're good. They got enough. They're good. It's fine. And they're going to have babies, and those people are going to work. They don't care. It's done. It is done. Yes. China goes, Biden was kind of stupid, though. True, but he wasn't in charge of that. He just went, whatever, the auto pen. He wasn't in charge. That was big business telling him what to do. He went, okay. That's all that was. Like Biden was running it. Biden wasn't running anything. Anyway, he's not running anything now. Any case, that's what that was all about. So that's our bigger issue. If all these men check out, it's not how women feel the pain too, right? Most women want to have a relationship with a man. Not all, obviously, but most do. Well, how are you going to find the man you want when 12 million check out? Your pool just got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And not just that, if they aren't working, well, now you got to work. Well, what if you want to be a traditional woman? You don't want to work. Well, that goes away because you have to, because the men aren't working. So you got to work now. So look, if you want to work, good for you. I'm not saying you shouldn't work. You do you. But there are women who like to be traditional. How are you going to find a man now? You got less men and they aren't working. So you got to work now. Well, you can't be traditional now. Oh, well. Guess you're going to be a boss babe because you got a choice. This affects all of us. This is a problem. Kim, you got exactly right. Families must be fixed first, then communities will fix themselves. True. That's why what Kanye said is so important. That's why I'm talking about this damn issue. I talk about this issue all the time. What Kanye is going through, literally tens of millions of men have gone through. And if you haven't, they've watched men go through it and they go, I don't want this. You look at men in the family court system. You look at men who are like divorce attorneys. They actually tell people, they tell men, you see all the time online, you watch all the time, don't get married. They're telling men, don't get married. What's wrong with you? Don't get married. They're telling men to not get married. And this is their bread and butter. Like they make money on divorce. So they should be telling men, get married immediately. Don't have a prenup. In fact, the first woman you find, just marry her. That's what they should be saying because that's how they get paid. So they should be like, just marry anybody. As soon as you see them, know their first name, get married. What could go wrong? That's what they should be saying. They're not. They're literally saying, don't do it. Don't do it. And these are people who make money on it. They're saying don't get married. That's where we are, Kim. That's where we are here. That's bad. Sarah says, if you watch Ben Davidson, we can all stop worrying because the magnetic pole shift mostly will kill most of us off. Then go back to living meaningful lives in the aftermath. I did see that. Yes, I did see that. Yes, I saw that. Didn't Kim Iverson do a show on that too? I love Kim. I might be on a show this week. I love Kim. She's great. So yeah, that's true. It's going to be a magnetic shift and we're all going to like flip around and be in trouble and stuff. Yeah, could happen. But then again, see, here's the thing, Sarah. If that happens, don't you want a bunch of strong, confident men like to rebuild stuff? Like I don't know, got to rebuild whatever it is. We got to rebuild roads and houses and stuff, whatever. So yeah, you need some, and you need women who want to have sex to have more babies, because half of us gonna die, right? So you got to have women who want to have babies. And you got to have men who want to build stuff. We got to have that. See, I'm not wrong. When the poles shift, I'm not wrong. So yes. So, any case, yes, guys, look, I want to say thank you so much for today. And of course, as I always ask you, please, the new algo, when this is over, please put a comment afterwards. Wherever you're watching, afterwards, put a comment down. Right? And today, I'd like you to tell me, what do you think about Kanye? Period. About him. You can talk about about him, maybe his issues, maybe his music, whatever, maybe this song, whatever. But what do you think about Kanye West? Do you care, not care? Is he important? Does the song matter? Do you feel sorry for him? Do you not care about him? Whatever the case may be, tell me what you think about Kanye. And remember, if this is not live and you're watching afterwards, odds are very high 2 videos are going to pop up right here. Please click on one of them right now, because the algo loves it. I will see you all